Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Tim, Highnoon's Vinyl, your friendly neighborhood vinyl guy, back again. Collection update. We know how this goes. Got a few records that I finally spun and got into the collection, so let's go through them. So at the beginning, gave you a little sample of this 2-volume goodie from Ray Charles. This is the Ray Charles story. I love these red and plum Atlantic labels. Just absolutely fantastic. I ran across these in a thrift store a while back. Great condition. I mean, you can see covers are very glossy still. Look at that, it's just super shine. When I was playing them, probably need to give them another clean. But otherwise, these two just sound fantastic. I want to say we're talking about, it's like, on this one is 15 hits. I think on the other one is 14. I mean, this is just a great 1-2 punch when it comes to all the Ray Charles you could want or need. I think there's more to want and need, but this is a great start from the Atlantic years. So I'm going to give you one more taste from these just because I love them so much.
Well, I got a woman way over town that's good to me. Oh, yeah. Say, I got a woman way over town good to me. Oh, yeah. She give me.
All right, so up next is a couple of new ones that I got in.
You know what else is a great start? Yoink.
Oh boy, here he comes, ladies and gentlemen. The crazy soon to be fifth grader himself. Yes, he finished. So summertime, we got him around the house all summer. Help us all. So see if I can squeeze this a little bit. So a couple of new releases that came in over the last couple weeks. I got them. So this one, obviously this has been making the rounds here in the VC. This is the new one from Metallica, 72 Seasons. This is on the the Violet, I think it is. It's the indie exclusive. You know, here's the see, there you go. See a little indie there, a little Violet.
It looks kind
It's
of
not
blue.
well, it's supposed to be like a violet purple. So I will agree with everybody else. The cover art is horrible. I don't know what they were thinking. Let's take things from our childhood, scorch it and set it on fire.
Yellow, can I see? Yeah, that looks kind of weird.
Yeah, it's very weird. But I've made peace with the fact that Metallica is not the thrash band they used to be.
I'll be right back. I gotta go get a drink.
Okay, so they have not been, Master of Puppets, and Justice for All, Ride the Lightning. That's just not who they are anymore, and I'm okay with that. They're a hard rock band. Let's call it what it is, right? And they grew up listening to a lot of different music, kind of like we all did. I thought this was a fine album. Is it going to break my top 5 from them? No. Is it the worst? God, no. It was a solid album. I thought there was some urgency in some of the riffs. I love the fact that the writing isn't just Hetfield and Ulrich. It's honestly a great collaborative effort from all four. That said, will I go to it often? Probably not. It's a solid album. I mean, 6.5, 7. But it was more for them. I mean, there were some blistering cuts on here that kind of gave me that punk reminiscence to them.
He likes it, but he kind of. But if he had to listen to it, he would.
Oh, I mean, I would definitely grab it again. But I mean, if I'm in a Metallica mood, it's usually going to be Ride the Lightning, Master of Puppets, something like that. But I mean, all in all, not a bad album. I'm happy with it. I'm glad I picked it up on vinyl, and I can think of worse albums from them. However, this one, I am so glad to have in. This is De La Soul's third in the reissue. They, like I said, they're doing their first 6. Again, they have the rights, so they're doing them one a month. I got this one in. This is Balloon Mind State, their third. This was a turning point for them in the sense that there wasn't as many skits on this album as 3 Feet High and Rising and De La Soul is Dead. The skits kind of took a back seat. And they were world travelers at this point. And they had seen a thing or two about it. And then they learned a thing or two. So they had more, I think, to say about the world around them, about the culture, about the future of hip hop. And they were more conscious of how they were saying it. This was a much more grown up album for them. I missed some of the comedic elements when this album first came out. So the reissue, and they've done this with a lot of the official reissues of this, like the reissue from Vinyl Me Please as well. They don't have the skits. So there are 3 skits on this album. Well, 2 skits and kind of a bonus cut, if you will. The first skit is them just chanting, "We might blow up, but we won't go pop." Hence the balloon mind state. Which was very unique of them to kind of give you the feeling of the album right there. They usually wanted to kind of bury it a little bit.
I don't know what I just looked at. I didn't see anything.
That's okay. The other skit was Dave Has a Problem Seriously, and I missed that because it was Dave and he's gone. It lives on CD, you know, well, what have you, so I'm fine with that. But it was basically him just acting really silly, leaving a voice message. But the other one was Long Island is Wildin', and I was upset that that wasn't there because they deliberately brought in MCs from other countries. And I felt that that was a great touch to the fact, and it spoke to the fact that they were world travelers at this point, and they have traveled because of hip hop, sharing hip hop, and they were sharing it back. So I missed that on this version, but all in all, sounds fantastic. You know, if you're De La Soul fans, you're aware of this one. The next one coming up is Stakes is High. I know some people check out after that, but not me. I'm excited for everything that they've got coming. So that one was a much needed addition to the collection. So up next, I have a comp from an artist, and usually if I collect an artist, you know, I will shy away from those best of comps or whatever.
I see Fish.
But unless they manage to sneak in something else.
That's what I meant. I see Fish.
And let's face it, Stevie Wonder did. So this is a beautiful comp, original Musicarium. So this kind of spawns that wonderful 70s era of Stevie Wonder. I mean, it is.
And Fish.
It is unparalleled. Well, the Fish is just kind of a theme.
I like the Fish.
So it covers from Music of My Mind to Talking Book, Intervisions, Fulfilling This First Finale, Songs in the Key of Life, The Secret Life of Plants, and Hotter Than July.
Wait, isn't The Secret Life of Pets a movie?
Plants.
I know, but The Secret Life of Pets is a movie.
Yeah, but Secret Life of Plants is what the name of the album is.
Why?
That's what he named it. So, but on this one, he did give us 4 additional songs. So at the end of each side on this one, there was a new song, a new composition from Stevie Wonder, 3 of which I believe went on to be decent singles, and one of them I'm going to give you a taste of right now, which is probably my favorite new song on this album, and that's Do I Do from Stevie Wonder. Again, it was released as a single. You can get the single if you don't want to buy the comp, but I mean, it's Stevie. Why wouldn't you want to buy the comp? So, original Musicarium Volume 1, here's Do I Do.
When you're standing in the crowd,
right, up next, this was one that been sitting in the rack for a minute. Don't know why, because I should have spun it by now. And I had spun it for a while, but I just didn't put it away. So I pulled it out, cleaned it again, and that's Alan Parsons' project, iRobot. You'll notice that it's not an MoFi sleeve, and it's because it could probably stand to use an upgrade. That's what I do when if it's not poly lined. Means that I'm probably looking for an upgrade, but this is a great player. Fantastic album. I mean, this is one that I think that this and Eye in the Sky, if you're only going to own 2 Alan Parsons albums, that's it. But
I just like that it's purple.
it's got a whole robot theme going on there too. So iRobot, absolute classic. Spun that one, felt great to add that one back to the collection. And then here's a band, and for all of you harder folks, I do still buy that stuff. This is the Quill. So the Quill have been around since the early 90s out of Sweden. They started out as just a basic heavy metal band. They kind of incorporated a little bit of stoner rock feel to them a little bit ago. This was their latest studio album, came out in 2021. It's called Earthrise, on this wonderful clear vinyl. Found this extremely enjoyable. It's stoner in tempo and in feel. The vocals very much a heavy metal style, but not like screaming obsessively, and it's not, rah, 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 it's not like a deathcore, like that. It's not a deathcore or anything else like that, because I do prefer my vocals to have a little bit of something I can retain. But all in all, I found this a very enjoyable album. So I'm going to give you a taste of this one. I think this was the best way to check them out, is just to hear them. I believe, if memory serves me correctly, I gave you a little bit of the cut "Keep on Moving" from them. But this is if you're into stoner rock, you like a little bit of heavy metal with it, good band to check out, the Quill.
Keep on moving, moving on. I wanna see you coming down the darkest road. Everybody knows the time is wasted.
So there's a rumor floating around that I like prog. Prog I do. This is yes, drama. Been sitting in another one that's been sitting in my inbox for quite some time. This is the album that John Anderson took off for. Trevor Horn did vocals on, and they brought in Trevor Rabin. So this is the album before 90215, and you can hear the blueprint of that album in this. Although this one may be a little better, definitely has heavier elements. And what's great is that the vocals still blend to that classic Yes harmony. So probably by far and large, without a shadow of a doubt, the best album that doesn't feature John Anderson on vocals. But that being said, too, this ranks very high. Great, enjoyable album from Yes. If you don't have this one, it is definitely worth checking out. Up next is one of those killer just power pop rock bands that just did not get enough love, and that's The Knack. So everybody knows The Knack from My Sharona, Good Girls Don't. That first album where they mocked did their version of the Beatles look. This is their second album, but The Little Girls Understand, and this is just as good. Great power pop hooks, great melodies. It's still that, if you liked My Sharona, if you like Good Girls Don't, if you like that first album and you don't have this, you can find this really inexpensive, and I guarantee you're going to absolutely love it. So I'm going to give you a taste off of this one. It's Baby Talks Dirty. It's the lead-off track off of this one. And I'm telling you, great power pop. It's that mixture of power pop meets new wave that was started in the late 70s, early 80s, and that, some bands like them, the Cars, they just took the great success. So check out The Knack. last up, yes, as he's changed his little critter friends here, we're going to get into some hip hop because, you know, when you think a squishmallow corgi, you think hip hop. Had to bring in this classic back into the collection, the debut album from Boogie Down Productions, Criminal Minded. This is a reissue on this kind of grayish wax. This is essential hip hop here at its finest. By this point, it was samples, it was rare breaks, it was live cuts. It was more than just the hippity hoppity stuff. And KRS-One was at the forefront of this. One of the earliest, to my recollection, I'm sure there may be earlier, but one of the earliest disc records put on wax. You had The Bridge Is Over on this. You had South Bronx, which was just a club monster at the time. So this is just a groundbreaking hip hop album. Glad to have some BDP on wax. Always happy when I can either get BDP or KRS-One. So reissue, fine. Would love an original, but I'll take that. Last up is this. This is Section 80, Section 80 from Kendrick Lamar. This is an unofficial release on from I guess Europe or whatever. Top Dog Entertainment. This was his debut on Top Dog. This really, for me, solidified putting Kendrick Lamar on the map early on. So comes on this 2LP goldish vinyl. Comes with this nice insert. Talks about the album project, Section 80. So Kendrick Lamar, coming from Compton. There really hadn't been any Compton artists, obviously, since like the NWA days. But coming from Compton, California, obviously, the drug issues and the gang issues that went with Compton all came to a head. But with Kendrick, you got something else. And Kendrick really did see the world through a different style. So he's one of those ones that's like he can get down and dirty and bar out with the best of them, but he's also a poet. He's also, in my opinion, a very accomplished writer. You know, if you've listened to some of his later albums, like To Pimp a Butterfly, Good Kid, Mad City, Damn. I mean, even his new one, he has a way to just bend these words to his will. And this album is just full of that lyrical prowess that he was showing early on. He has a ton of different producers on here. Anybody from like J. Cole to THC to Willie B. BJ the Chicago Kid is on here as a feature. Schoolboy Q. There's just a lot of people that helped get this off the ground. But I think the crown jewel of this album is the last song on side 3, and it's a track called Rigor Mortis. So Rigor Mortis takes this simple motif of a horn that's very urgent, it's very high pitched, and the way it's looped, it's a very fast tempo. I researched it and someone said it was like around 178, 179 BPMs, which if you think about the average hip hop songs come in around 93 to about 101 beats per minute. So this is almost double that. And
I'm pretty sure that's still less than our heart.
No, well, I don't know. But anyway, the way he puts this together. So the idea behind Rigor Mortis is that he has killed all your favorite rappers. There's nobody better than him. And it's that braggadocious style that is very common in hip hop. But he does it in such a way. And about 2 minutes into the song, he really just downshifts and he takes off. And the amount of syllables that he gets into one breath is just awe-inspiring. And he's keeping this motif, this feeling of a rap pattern going for bar after bar after bar after bar, you know, and it doesn't feel old or stale. It's just, you're still just in awe listening to it. So So I'm going to close out the video with rigor mortis in full so you can check it out. If that's not your thing, hey, thanks for watching one. We appreciate
Rick and
it.
Mortis kind of sounds like Rick and Morty.
It's not Rick and Morty, I can tell you that. But if you're interested in checking it out, please stick to the end of the video and check out rigor mortis from Kendrick Lamar. But that's it for us. You know what? I don't know when my next one's going to be. I'm trying to get it done. I will be a 45 collection update. I'm still working on going through my huge backlog of stuff that I got to get done. We lots of stuff coming.
We got stuff.
Yeah, we got lots of stuff. Lots of stuff.
Over there.
Yeah, so we're working on stuff. So stay tuned. Hopefully we'll get it up soon. But if you're interested, check out Rigor Mortis. Anyway, we love you all. Peace.
All right, here we go, third take. Real quick, Ali. Got me breathing with dragons. I'll crack the egg in your basket, you bastard. I'm Marilyn Manson with madness. Now just imagine the magic I like to ask is don't ask for your favorite rapper.
He did.
Yes, sir.
Amen.
Church.
He did.
I killed him.
Amen.
Bitch. And this is rigor mortis, and it's gorgeous when you die. I recorded and I'm Morpheus, the matrix in my mind. I'm out the orbit, you an orphan and a hairdresser combined. I'm on the toilet when I rhyme. If you the shit, then I decline. I climax where you begin, and then I end on cloud 9. And that's important when you morph into an angel in the sky. And don't be forging all my signatures. My listeners reply and tell me that you biting style. You got a hell of an appetite, and I'm a beer for a while. Just buckle up before the ride, or knuckle up if you can fight. We always making them duck or die. A suit and tie is suitable, and usual is suicide. CSI just might investigate this fucking parasite.
He did. Amen.
That's what they telling me. Aim it at your celebrity. This is studio felony. Ferragamo to many and cool enough for the 70s. Nigga, payback's a bitchin', bitch. You been living in debt with me. Dead I'm all in especially. Leave a call on his mother voice. Mother say that he rest in peace. Big ol' chopper the recipe. Wrestling, that's irrelevant. Rather rest at your residence. Whistling to the melody. Couldn't think of a better D. Better be on your P and Q. It's just me, J-Rock, Soul and Q. Solar system and barbecue. Nothing else you can do.
He did.
Yup.
Amen.
I killed him.
He did. Amen.
Amen. Got me breathing with dragons. I'll crack the egg in your basket, you bastard. I'm Marilyn Manson. Don't ask who your favorite rapper.
He did.
Yup.
Amen.
I know.
He did.
For sure.
Amen.
Amen. Got me breathing with dragons. I'll crack the egg in your basket, you bastard. I'm Marilyn Manson. Don't ask who your favorite rapper. I rapped them and made them Casper. I captured the likes of NASA. My pedigree to fly past you. I passed the week to the pastor. We all are sinners. Once you sentence the Bible study faster. Yo, hypocrite is reaction of blasphemy. I assassin my casualty and it's casually done. And tell him my salary coming. Lumps of 100s. Don't talk to me about no money. The sun is under my feet and I come in peace to compete. I don't run. If you athlete, my statistics go up in weeks and I go visit the nearest creek and I get busy. Yo, mini MC really ballistic. Anybody can see any assistance. Everybody to see some persistence. Recognize I be really too vicious. The permanent beast and the demolition. Breaking up the streets. Better partition. Better dodge your key. Hannibal mention. How all you see. Putting my dick in the rap industry. Everybody bitching. Getting mad at me. Recognize Kendrick in a battery. And I'm charged up in a catastrophe. It's charged up in audacity. And y'all fucks never could hassle me. And y'all luck just ran out. You'll see.
He did.
Yup.
Amen.
I know.
He did.
For sure.
Amen.
Amen. Got me breathing with dragons. I'll crack the egg in your basket, you bastard. I'm Marilyn Manson. Don't ask for your favorite rapper.
He did.
Yup.
Amen.
I know.
He did.
For sure.
Amen.
Amen.